Hello, good evening. Now, it is Craft Yourself Silly's 8th birthday. We've got some amazing deals, and of course we're launching a brilliant one-day special. Right, now because it's the birthday event, we're also giving a free gift. These scissors, right, they are 10-inch and they're worth £12.99. So it's one per customer there, and it's while stocks last. There you go. So that you're not paying for that. So Hayley, tell us a little bit about, for anybody who's just joining us, a little bit about Craft Yourself Silly.
Okay, so Craft Yourself Silly is the company that I started 8 years ago, and it's been going from strength to strength. It's always been soft crafts, but when we got the printer a couple of years ago, we've kind of really grown since then, and we do all sorts now.
Amazing. You do indeed. Right, do you want to talk us through, because this is, you've got a lot in this one-day special, what we're getting here.
Yes.
Fabazines.
So, I think if we can, we'll go through each of them individually.
Yes, sure.
And then we'll explain that the one-day special is them all together.
Yes, that
Probably
sounds good to me. So we've got issue 6.
Issue 6, this is the latest issue. We bring these out every other month because there's a lot of projects in there, and I'll be surprised if you get through these in more than 2 months.
Absolutely.
So you're getting 12 different projects in this one. So we're going to start at the back and work your way forward?
Sure, yeah,
okay.
Here we go. I like this.
Yeah.
This is cool.
It's because it's got cake in it, that's why you
well,
like
no,
it.
I really like the fabric as well.
So this is our little picnic carrier. Now you can see on the inside there, you've got the kind of the savoury option, the Cornish pasties.
I love that.
And then on the outside, I've got the sweet option, which is the cakes. So that is reversible. And the way it works, if you could just lift the handle up a little bit.
Yes, on this one.
It kind of, all the edges have got, all corners have got loops on.
Yeah,
and
like
one
this.
corner has got a really big long loop on. So the big long loop forms your handle, and then the other loops kind of come in together so that you can put a plate of you know, biscuits, pies, cakes, whatever you like in there, and carry them to your picnic.
I think that's brilliant. So remember, you're going to get the fabric, the panel, which we'll show in a minute, because it's behind me to make these.
And actually, one of our design team, who I do need to mention all the names, but I've forgotten my bit of paper. And it's a lot of design team members we've got now, so I'm going to need a bit of paper for that.
Okay.
I think this one is Sarah, actually, that's done this one. And this is just one of the panels that she's done exactly the same with. So she's taken all of those loops, put them on there, and then put a bigger one on so you've got something to carry it with. But what she's done is actually lined it with a blank one. So she's got 2.
Right.
Out of the same panel.
Clever.
By adding a bit of plain fabric.
Nice. So that's just one of the projects. Then look, our lovely little elephant.
Yes, so this is your Mdf Scissor Holder.
Right.
And coincidentally, it fits your gift with purchase.
Excellent, there you
and
go.
And forms the trunk on the elephant.
Isn't that clever?
Oh, scissors the other way round.
Scissors the other way round?
Yeah, that way. There you go.
Okay. Oh, yes, of course.
There you go. And then it fits.
It's very clever.
So it creates your scissor holder. So you're getting the MDF pieces, and they're big pieces in there as well. They're quite big, punchy pieces. So then coming further down in front of that, you've got a strap. It's not the notebook itself, it's what's strapped onto the notebook there, which are, you actually get 3 of the bookmarks in there.
Oh, that's cool, isn't it?
They're really, really cute. And you're going to get some bits and pieces to decorate these with. You're getting the floss to decorate them with. But these ones Patty's done, and she's put a few bits and pieces out of her stash in there as well. She's added beads and all sorts of lovely bits and pieces as well. And the only thing I will say is your elastic that goes round the books is white.
Right, okay.
It's we thought it matched with more things.
Sure.
But initially we put red in and then changed our minds.
Okay, that's
it's too
fair
late
enough.
to resew them.
Oh, and then can we talk about, is he a little dragon?
Yeah, there's a little dragon in there, and he's got movable joints. That's a tractor who's actually done that sample there.
There you go. He's cute, isn't he? Look at him, look at him, look at him. There you go.
And then in front of that, you've got a little zippy pouch. Can you see that little square pouch?
This one? Yep.
So if you open that up,
okie dokie.
This is what we've called an ouch pouch, because we've made it into a first aid kit. So it opens up into a little kind of tray almost. So you can see all your bits and pieces in there.
Yeah.
The little kind of 50s nurse lady, if you just swizzle it round, she's optional. Okay. So you can add her in if you want to, or you can leave it off if you don't want to. And also you can put it on the front of the pouch if you wanted to as well.
Nice.
So you're getting your big long zip included with that.
Yeah, that's in here.
You are getting, the bag that's on the mannequin.
Bag that's on the mannequin. Here we are.
So this is actually a single piece bag.
Right. Hang on. Let's lift this up.
I've pinned it on, so just be careful.
Okay.
It's just pinned at the top though, you can whip it out if you
That's
want
all
to.
right.
And you can have that reversible as well, so it's one big long piece that you sew together. So again, Fabazine for us has always been about techniques.
Yes.
And how to do things, you know, differently. And this is a really nice, simple bag to do. It's
very stylish.
Simple in terms of it's one piece. Obviously, there's a little bit of technique involved in actually putting it together.
Excellent, right.
And then if we come in front of that, there's a little plastic zippy pouch with that nice decorative zip on.
Yeah.
So that one you can do either as a pencil case, or when we are allowed to go on holidays, you can use that as your clear plastic container for things like that.
Yep, lovely.
So, and it also teaches you to sew with plastic as well, because that's something that we don't often come across. So that was a really nice project to have a go at. And there's a really cute decorative zip in that. You can see all the little kind of floral sides to it. In front of that, you've got, right, we're going to call this a scrunch bag.
I love it.
But I think it's brilliant for kind of makeup and things, because if you kind of pull it out, you can see there's a load of little pockets in there.
There is, look
and
at
you
that.
can have it completely flat and have everything laid out, and then pull those drawstrings together, and that scrunches it all up.
Oh, amazing.
Now, down where you've just put that on top of, that is your quilt template that you get with this one. So it's your crazy paving template. So I have to think a tractor for that sample, because I know she's done that one.
Lovely.
And then we've got another little placemat, the kaleidoscope hand paper piecing one. And that one is Heather that's done that one.
Bless, nice.
So we're whizzing through them here. And then underneath that, you've got what we always try to put a panel in, which again is more technique based. And this one is about filling those gaps. So you go around all of your feature pieces, and that leaves you, you're not looking at the foreground, you're not filling in the birds themselves, you're actually going round and filling in the blank spaces, which then brings those birds to the front, because you've flattened down all the rest of it.
Excellent.
Have I done them all?
I think you have, yeah. So that is just in issue 6. And again, so you're filled with those 12 projects. Look at all the you've popped in here: zips, skeins of threads, the templates.
Oh, yeah, absolutely everything that you need is in there. All you would need is a sewing machine, needle and thread.
Wonderful. And you can see behind me this massive, massive panel there. And so if you do, we can't even fit it. You won't be able to see the whole thing because
it's half of it's on the floor because it's so big.
Amazing.
And there's lots of things that you can do on there where you can actually double up on them. So the things like the picnic holder, as we saw before, you've got a front and a back panel to that. You could actually add some plain fabric. Make 2. The Mobius bag, the single piece bag, that you've got your lining and your outer piece. So if you wanted to add some plain, make 2. The ouch pouch, again, you'd be able to do that. And the scrunch bag as well.
That.
You could probably get 2 out of quite a lot of them.
Amazing. There's so much there for you. That is going to keep you entertained, isn't it? Right, now, if you do just want Fabazine 6 on its own, you can. And it has that £5 saving. Now, remember that £5 saving, because, as usual, what we're going to do is carry that saving over for the big collection, which, so you're not only getting that in the huge collection, you are getting our Fabazine. So it's a limited edition button Fabazine.
Yes, so we did a limited edition denim one the last time we did this, 2 months ago. And this is the button one. And the reason they're limited edition is there's certain bits of this we can't get any more of. So we kind of have to just go until we run out. And then what we might have to do is substitute a couple of bits. So, OK, we're going to start with that piece that's hanging down over the edge of the counter, if we can.
Yeah, lovely.
Because that
it's down there.
Is your Perpetual Calendar.
Right.
Now, by Perpetual Calendar, that means it can be used over and over and over again. So you can see the days of the week running across the top there. And what you've got some self-cover buttons there. And those self-cover buttons, you cover yourself. You've got the tool and all 31 sets for the buttons in there as well.
Wonderful.
And it creates lots and lots of little pockets. So you can just, you know, when you get a calendar, and you know, it's all very nice, but then after the air's gone, it goes out. This one is going to last forever. Because all you do is you stitch little buttonholes in there, and you move those buttons around for the right days for the next month, and the next month, and the next month. And it also means you've got those little pockets. So if you've got shopping lists that you want to put in there, you've got appointment cards that you want to put in there, you can store all of those little reminders and things in there ready to go. So you've got like a calendar with storage.
Isn't that so cool? I really like that idea. I've not heard of that before. Right, what else do we get? What other projects have we got?
So if we come up a bit onto
Can you see?
I'm trying. Oh, there, I can see in this one. If you come up a bit onto the counter, I'm really sorry, Hannah, because I'm having to get it. It's like the golden shot. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Up a bit. We'll go to the bag. There's a bag on the counter there.
Yeah,
Do you want to pick
that's
that
lovely.
one? Can you manage to? You're quite tall, though. You might get it from there.
I'm going round the side.
You're going around the side?
Yeah,
okay.
I'm going round the side.
So this is another project that's in there. It's one we're going to actually do a little bit of a demonstration on this one because I've got another version of it here.
Okay, there you
all
go.
the way round. But I've got another version of it here. So this one is really, really cute. It's using the background, and then you're adding all of those buttons to it. You're adding, and we provide everything you need. You're going to get, there's 100 buttons on the front of here.
Amazing.
And you're going to get all of those. But if you want to add extras in, because what I actually did was I got my my nan's box of buttons when unfortunately she passed on last year. So I've substituted some of those that I got with 3 or 4 of the pink ones that I found in her box, just to be able to kind of make it a little bit more personal. Yeah. And you can absolutely do that. You can swap bits out if you want to. You can, move things around and change them. And this is a really nice size tote bag. We're going to finish this one off. This one's kind of ready to go, but we're going to finish that one off in one of the demonstrations.
Excellent. And then what else have we got? Little pouch here.
Yes, so that's a little pouch for sunglasses. Yes. And what that's got on the front of there, that's actually got what's called a Yorkshire button on there, which comes from a little template. So you're going to get 4 templates in the kit. So you're going to be able to make 4 different sizes. And actually, if you look behind the counter, you've got lots and lots of different samples of how you can make lots and lots of different shapes and sizes for these. So, we're making kind of sunflowery ones to go with the sunflower pattern that's on there.
Marvellous. Okie dokie. What else have we got?
What else? Okay, so the next one with the little crossword there.
Yeah.
This one's super, super fun. Sorry, I've got hiccups. This one's super fun because what we've done is we've given you buttons, but they've got 9 holes in. Right. So when you stitch them on, you can stitch in letters or numbers, and we actually give you in the instructions a kind of recommended set of words that will fit. Right. But if you want to play around and make that your own, I've got one that's, I think, again, Sarah did, that I've got over here. Let me just see if I can grab it. And she's written a little message in hers. Hang on a second. There you go. I'll put it down this way, and then you should be able to see it. So she's written a little message into hers. It's in lots of different colours, so I don't know if you can quite see it. So it says, "I'm a crafty chick star."
That's brilliant.
So you can play about with yours if you want, and add different messages into it, or you can use the words that we've put in the booklet, or you can do you can do whatever you like. You can put different things into the crossword piece and use those 9-hole buttons on something else. Maybe you've got a jacket and you want to spell something on the buttons. Personalised. It's all up to you. It's all up to you to move them about. But you've got 34, and that's going to fill the whole piece if you want to. Excellent.
And then moving on, we've got a nice canvas here.
Yes,
a little picture
this is a button art canvas, and you are going to get so many buttons for this. We've actually had to get a bigger box because we put so much stuff into this one. We realised it wasn't all going to fit. We proper overdid it. I really overdid it on this one. But I was having loads of fun, so I just kept going. So this one, it's a printed backing piece. It's the hummingbird backing piece, and it's got the kind of splatter background to it. Yeah. And then what you've got is you've got 5 different colours of buttons in there that you can kind of, merge and overlap and really get some texture in there to create that beautiful kind of hummingbird piece. And then the next one we've got, you can just see him hanging on the corner there. Yeah. You've got 2 of our battoonies. So you get one that's one of the little ones, and that will vary slightly. Some, I think it's hedgehog, bat, or don't tell Janice, but there's a spider.
Oh, okay, yeah, we won't tell her.
So you get one of those 3 small battoonies. Okay. But you also get the bee, one of the big ones.
He's fabulous, isn't he? Look at him.
So you get all the foam pieces, all the MDF buttons. I did not do the best job there because I've painted one black that should have been yellow.
Oh, it's all right.
But,
that's
stuff
cool.
to do, man, stuff to do.
I know.
So, sorry, I apologise for that. But yes, you get him as well. So you're going to get, and we're still going because there's still a couple more projects in there as well.
We've got some MDF on here.
Yes, so you get the button clock as well. So that's the frame that you need for the crossword panel.
Okay.
And that's the buttons that you need to create the bee.
Right.
This one here is your button clock. So you're going to get the front and the back, and you're going to get the clock mechanism with the hands. And you also get numbers to put around there. And what we've done is we've bought clock mechanisms to go in here that are high enough. So if you want to decorate this with some of your leftover buttons, then it will easily pass over, the hands will pass over the top of your buttons, because that's sometimes a problem that people put mechanisms in that are too low. And then if you want to decorate them, you can't get everything on top of it. Have I done 8?
I think you have. So there's 8 projects in this one.
There's a necklace. We've missed a necklace.
I'm so sorry. Yes, it's over here. So there's 8 projects in this one.
It's hard to kind of keep track of them all.
Yeah. Is that right? There's 8 projects in this one?
Yes, there's 8. Well, 9 if you include the 2 battoonies.
Okay.
But there's also how to make that button necklace, and you're going to get a huge pile of buttons in there
I mean,
as well.
just look at all of these buttons. There's just tons of them here. So you're going to get absolutely everything you need. And then, of course, you can see that big panel at the back there. Now, if you do just want the Fabazine button, magazine, yes, with everything here, there is a £5 saving on this one. So that's another £5 that will carry it over. So you're carrying £10 over for the big collection of the one-day special. And you're going to save a further, on top of that £10, £15 saving. Now, let me tell you, the phone lines are on fire. We are now over 20% of a very deep stock already gone. Don't forget, you're going to get your gift with purchase, but once this is gone, it's gone. Look, 10-inch. There you go. I do need to just say that it's only available for our UK customers. Do apologise to everybody else, but it's just we cannot post the scissors out abroad, if you know what I mean. There you go. So this is your gift with purchase. £79.98 for literally everything that you see here is incredible, incredible. You can spread the cost as well, 2 payments of £39.99. In total, you'll get 20 projects if you get the 2 together as part of your one-day special. Very, very busy, as I said. Please go to the website where you can check out really nice and quickly to secure this for you. 728446. Now, if this wasn't good enough, we have also got a happy hour deal. So let's take a look at what we're getting here. Now, 3 metres of your super slim batting. Ignore that one, we'll just bring you the right details. There you go. So it is a happy hour deal, only up until 7 p.m. this evening. Come on, details. There it is. Right, £16.97. £4 saving for now. 687966. Right, the one-day special is absolutely flying out the door. Please make sure you're checking out your baskets. I cannot stress enough how many have already gone out the door, so do check out. Right then, I'm going to now hand over to you, Hayley.
Okay, so I'm going to start on one of the Fabazine projects, and this is the one that I think you really liked the minute you saw it, which is the bird panel, which actually you're working on quilting the background, not the foreground. So this is one that I've started, and I've gone far more densely than the sample that you've got over there. So what I've done is, what we'll do next is we'll do this section over here. So initially, there was a lot of pins in here just kind of holding everything in place. So I'm just going to move these 2 a little bit further out of the way. And I'm going to pop this on the machine, and I'm going to go around, because I want to keep the flower, because when I quilt that in, I actually want to quilt that following some of those lines. And then I want to come round the bird and kind of round the flower. So I'm going to take this whole kind of square that's here, or not square, this kind of triangular shape that's here. So we're going to pop this on the machine.
Okay.
And just using a straight stitch for this. Do you need to get in for something?
What it is we are now 30% of the stock gone. It's gone absolutely crackers, not surprised. It's an amazing set that, I mean, this whole counter, you're not getting the counter, but you know what I mean. Right, you've got 20 projects in total that you'll be able to make, but 30% of the stock has gone in just 20 minutes. Right, back to you, Hayley.
Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm just following the lines, and I haven't got anything special on here. Oh, what I didn't do was I didn't change my thread. I've got a slightly different thread on here. Don't want to change it. I think I might. I'll change it back to this light blue, like bluey green that matched the background a bit better, because actually, if you can see what I've got on here, I've got a variegated thread, and it's a little bit darker than I would like. So I'm going to just quickly swap that out. So let me just cut this off.
Okay.
I'll leave the variegated on the bottom because that's what I've actually used on that one. Let me just grab my bag because I know it's in there.
What we could ask, actually, that's all right, is if you've got any of the previous editions of the Fabazines, then send in your projects, what you've been making. You can send your pictures to studio@thecraftstore.com. Oh yeah, if you head to the website, we've also got issues 1, 2, 3, 4 for you to buy if you haven't yet got them. They're there. How are you doing, Hayley?
Done.
Cool.
I'm done. I've swapped it to a silvery grey, which I think will be nice. So I've got quite a lot of thread there. Oh dear, let me just trim some of this off. It's got quite a lot and I don't want those big tails. Okay, so we're good to go now. So I'm going to pop this back in, just get rid of that old one. Because we don't want that. There we go. And we're in. So I haven't got a free motion foot on. I've just got my normal foot on. I haven't got anything special going on here. And so this means anybody can do it on any machine. But what I am doing is I'm using that 1/8 inch guide. So there's 2 little red marks. I'll just pop my foot off for a second so you can see. There's 2 little red marks on this foot.
Okay.
So that would be my kind of centre line, that one there. It's quite a reflective one. I'll tip it forward a bit. There you go. That would be my centre one. So I'm trying to line up my lines either to the left or the right of that, so that I'm lining up my line that I'm stitching. Obviously, my needle's going to go in the middle. So I want to line the previous line up either on this side or that side, so I stay that 1/8 of an inch away. So I'll pop that back on. And away we go. So we'll pop that in. And I'm just going to have a normal stitch length, a 2.5, that's fine. And I'm just going to keep going, but trying to keep it that nice 1/8 inch distance away. Now you can free motion foot this if you want to. It's entirely up to you. The only reason I do it like this sometimes is because I like to keep that nice even stitch length that you get from not using a free motion foot, because free motion foot, that relies on you to push it through the machine, whereas this way the feed dogs will actually help it go through the machine. I just have to be a little bit more accurate when I change direction, that's all, and a little bit more kind of paying a little bit more attention. So all I'm going to do is keep going round and round these different features, making those pieces smaller and smaller. And can you see up here where there's a little bit of a flower? I've actually kind of stitched some features in, because some of those features you can add, and I would do the same for the centre of this flower.
Yeah.
I would put all of those kind of little stamens in there as well, because you can, although it's the background and you are trying to kind of dampen down a lot of the loft that you're getting from that wadding, and that's why the super slim's really useful as well. Because sometimes you can get really, really lofty battings, which are just that little bit too much. Yeah. And especially on some of the projects that we've done where it needs you to fold over layers of batting. The Super Slim's brilliant for that as well. Just one more, there we go. And then kind of go down the side of the bird. And that's a bit of a longer, straighter run, so I'm going a little bit faster on that one.
If you do want the batting, it's at the bottom of the screen, but it is also going very, very quickly. £16.97. And going back to our one-day special, we are now 1/3 of the stock gone. It's absolutely flying out the door. Good, good.
What I would also do is work quite small pieces on this. So that triangle that I'm working there, it's probably about the biggest that I would work at any one time. It's fine to block out sections, and I would definitely recommend you do that first. So block out a load of sections first and then come back and start working kind of concentrically inwards. So you can put the piece up the side there if you want to. It's not essential, but we'll quickly do that. We'll just go up a couple of stitches and then start coming back on ourselves so we can create that concentric pattern. So I'm just now following that initial line that I put in with the, mark on the right-hand side, and keeping my needle back in that centre point. And now I'm taking it a little bit more slowly because I'm really keeping my eye so that I keep my previous line lined up with that one to create that kind of nice, even concentric look that we're going for, which is going to really flatten down that back layer. Now, I would say that's one stitch too far on that one, so I'm going to just wind it back. And then we'll swizzle it round and come round this side. And don't be afraid to hand turn it, don't be afraid to take it slowly, because sometimes that's what this kind of work needs, just to be able to get that accuracy.
Very satisfying.
And obviously if you want to use a free motion foot so you can get a kind of bit better visibility on where you're going, or even a clear applique foot, that will do a really nice job as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now I'm getting to these fiddlier bits again, but just taking it slowly and just moving that a little bit in at a time. Now, I would love to do some more of this, but I've got 20 odd projects to get through.
I know.
So I'm going to have to leave this one, and what we'll do is we'll go on to finishing the bag.
That sounds like a plan.
The button bag.
Lovely. If you are just joining us, everything here, look at this. You're going to be getting, so you have got your Fabazine issue 6 that's got 12 projects in it that you can see here. We've got our lovely little picnic bag. We've got MDF elephants that become a scissor holder. I think that's really clever. Hang on. And then that makes his trunk. Is it the other way? It's the other way. Now, these are a free gift with purchase, so you're not paying for these scissors. It's one per customer. Have I done it the wrong way? Where is? There it is. There you go. Look at that. That's clever, isn't it? I like that. You're getting, you'll be able to make, I should say, the wonderful embellishments. Our lovely little dragon. We've got, I love this pouch you'll be able to make. So you're getting the big, big fabric panel, which is behind me, and then you cut out all of those different panels and you make all of these wonderful projects. Got a nice little hexagon there, placemat. We've got the panel here. So those are what you're going to be able to make, and this is what you'll get. So you've got your Fabazine, you've got the fabric panel behind me, you get the MDF, you get the templates here. You're getting skeins of thread, you're getting zips for the bag, for there's the plastic bag, and also the lovely little bag that you can pop your masks in. There's some safety eyes for your dragon. There's beads. There's the straps for the bag. There's felt in there. I mean, you literally are getting everything you need. So that's in issue 6. And you are also getting the limited edition button Fabazine. And in that one, you're getting 8 projects in this one. So we've got necklaces you'll be able to make, our lovely batoonies. There's a fabulous bag you'll be able to make. The calendar's amazing, but look at it. I mean, you get so many buttons. This is mad, isn't it? You've got MDF that you'll get. Again, more skeins of thread. There's felt. It is just incredible, but I just love it. So you'll be able to make the bag. You've got a little glasses case. You've got this little game you can make. That's your calendar. I love that. It's just brilliant. We are now over a third of the stock gone. Wow, wow, wow. So it's £79.98. Now, if you were to go for the Fabazines individually, there is a £5 saving on each, which carries over. So that's £10 carried over. And then you've got a further £15 discount. But this really will keep you going. Fabulous projects. They really are. You're literally getting all of the lovely items on this beautiful table. Right, now, you can also spread the cost, of course, 2 payments of £39.99. Now, it works out at just £3.99 per project. That's a cracking deal, isn't it? Also must mention, right, our batting here, this is a happy hour deal, and it is really busy. 3/4 of the stock has gone, and it's a huge piece. Look, 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 look. This is a huge piece.
Once this goes, I haven't got any more of that. Once it's gone, it's gone.
Okay, it's a big piece. Do you know the size roughly?
3 metres.
Oh, is it 3 metres?
By 1.5 metres.
Okay, amazing. Check out your baskets on this. Add it in with your one-day special, because then you can spread the cost on Flexi as well. Lovely, lovely. Here's the website, because we've got lots more available for you.
Your folding's
I know, I'm
terrible.
so sorry. I'm just trying to be quick. Right, we have got all the projects available individually. There you go. So there's 1 and 2.
But just bear in mind, you know, a couple of those projects are quite expensive. And I mean, that is still not a bad price for that as an individual piece. But the real saving is when you kind of put them all together.
Yeah, lovely. £3.99 each in the one-day special. Wow, and some of the projects are $16.99, $19. So you've got such savings. So you see there, that's amazing. You all right, Hayley?
Yeah, I'm just watching them all go by thinking,
so many projects. There you go. Right,
I'm thinking, I've put way too much in here.
Right, I'm going to hand it back to you, Hayley.
Okay, so we are going to have a look at the button bag that we were doing. So this is one that I've got kind of one more step to go on, so you can kind of see it coming together there. And this is how we intended it with initially there was a lot more on than this.
Yeah.
And I had to kind of dial it back just because I couldn't get them all sewn on. And also when I did front and back, it was a bit heavy.
Okay.
I'll be honest. It was a little bit too heavy. And then you wouldn't want to put any shopping in it because it was already too heavy.
Yeah.
So with the front is obviously all kind of nicely decorated, and I'm going to show you how to do this in a second. But if you take a look at the bag that's over there, which one of our fantastic design team's done, she's actually not done every single one. And she's used different techniques to sew each of them. You've got to go around the front.
Yeah.
Okay.
This one?
Yes, that one. She's used different techniques to sew each of them on.
Okay.
As well. So you can create different looks. And that, if you did that, then you'd have twice as many buttons. Therefore, you could make twice as many things.
Nice.
So it's depending on how you want to do it. Yeah. So we're going to start off with the handles first of all. Now your panel that you get has all of those pieces on, and you think initially, oh, that's quite dark and grey. But then when you add the other pieces on and you've got those really bright pink buttons, then it kind of works and it balances out. So your handles are these long sections down the side there. So you're going to cut those out. Once you've cut them out, you're going to fold them in half and press them, and they are exactly 4 squares wide. So when you press them in half, you'll press them exactly down that centre line. Mm-hmm. And then what you're going to do is press each of those halves in. So you put each of those in to create, kind of fold all of your raw edges in, and then fold it back in half, which will give you your strap. That's then 4 layers thick, so it's got, you know, really good strength. And then all I've done is top stitch both sides. I've done it with a bright pink on this one, just to add a little bit of interest, but you could do it in something coordinating if you wanted to. So that takes care of your straps. The next step is to do your bags. So for this, you need to cut that big panel out. The buttons are really the last thing you want to add to this, because otherwise it gets a bit kind of unwieldy when you're coming to try and put handles and things on. So with this, you're going to trim it off at the top there, and you'll see you've got a full square and a half square. So there's your full square, there's your half square. If I get my finished one here, and I'll just show you the insides and the workings, what you're going to do is tuck that. You're going to make a double rolled hem, essentially. Right. So you're going to tuck that half square up and then fold it to where that full square is to tuck that underneath. And again, because you're working with the squares here, you can line things up really nicely. And when you come to sew that edge, you need to just tuck your handles in at the bottom edge to hold them in. Because if you can see on here, if I remove I don't think that helps on the background. So the first row you stitch is all the way along the bottom, holding those handles in the downward position, so that it would be in a downward U like this. Once you've got them set, then you can fold them up and then put that second row of top stitching across the top, which is going to make your handles super strong and just, you know, look nice and decorative and match the same distance between the stitching that you've got on the handles there. So that's going to kind of tie everything together. And you want to do that for your handles on your front and on your back before you start to stitch all of your buttons in, because that's going to make it more heavy, it's going to make it kind of more unwieldy, and some of your buttons are quite close to the top here. Yeah. If I just show you that there, some of them are quite close to the top, so you really want to get those in, you know, these pieces of stitching in while it's easier to get through the machine, and you're not going to risk catching any of your bits of felt.
Lovely. So I have an update very quickly.
I had a feeling you were hovering.
I was hovering because you're batting the happy hour deal. That's gone. That's it now. So thank you if you purchased it. It was a big old piece, but I just had to let you know it's gone. Still extremely busy for the one-day special. We are now almost 40% of the stock gone. This is supposed to last 24 hours. We shall see. We shall see. Right. Over to you, Hayley.
Next step. So, as I said, you've got over 100 buttons. We've given you 100. I actually rang the girls up today and said, put a few more in because I lost a few of mine when I was sewing it. That's why my Nan's buttons are in here. However, I mean, I quite like that anyway because it you know, it adds something and it adds to be a bit of a memory piece. But we have added, there's be about 103, 104 in there, just so you've got a few extras just in case one does roll off under the sofa or something like that, because it happens. It happens. And then the next step you've got is to add all of these little squares. Now, you can make the decision at this point whether you want all the same colour on the back or all the same colour on the front. I've alternated mine, so you can see I've got dark grey on the back and light grey on the front of that one, and then light grey and dark grey on that one. So I like to alternate them. You have got a few little kind of suggested templates for sizes of these if you want to go with them, but as long as they are just slightly smaller than the square, so you can just, the way I was cutting them out was I was making a roughly the same width strip. This is for my larger one, so I've got a strip that's roughly the same width there as one of those squares, and then I'm just cutting random shapes off like that. And then I have another strip which is slightly narrower, and then again I'm cutting wonky squares. That's what we're doing, wonky squares. And there's no great precision to this. They just need to look, they all need to look jumbled up. The more you try and make it straight, the harder it is going to be. You just need to let go and make jumbled shapes for this one, I'm afraid. But what I would definitely recommend you do is actually sort through your buttons before you start, because what you don't want to do is start sewing fancy, 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 and then by the time you get to the bottom, you find out you've got like 3 or 4 of the same, and you're going to end up with them in a row.
Right, good point.
So what I did was I sorted my buttons out, and I took all of the big ones first off, and made sure that my big ones were quite nice and evenly spaced across the front of the bag. So you can see I've got them all over there. And then from that, I took the some of them where I had quite a few of the same. So see, like these ones here. And I made sure that I had one of those in each row. And to kind of mix up the look as well, I turned some of them over.
Oh yeah, cool.
Because you can get a different look from them. You can see that's that one, that's that one. And you can get a different look from them by turning them over as well. So once you've got everything on, then the very last step, and with sewing these on, actually I'll sew, if I can find my needles, I had them last night. I'm going to look for some needles.
Okay, no worries.
And, oh, I know exactly where they are.
Ah, there you go.
See, this is what happens when I prep stuff, I can't find it. Okay, so let me just, I don't want to steal that because I want to use it. So, what we're going to, actually, do you know what? I'll use this thicker thread so you can see what I'm doing. So this is embroidery floss. You don't want to be using an embroidery floss, just a normal cotton thread that will do. I've used a pink that coordinates with the buttons. You don't have to. You can use whatever you're comfortable with. So once we've got these 2 pieces, we're going to lay them on top. Now, all my buttons are in because you can see I've got a kind of square left all the way around. But I'm going to sew it onto this edge just to show you how to get them on. So there's actually little dots, as you can see on this panel here. Just pull that across a little bit. There's little dots which show you exactly where the centre is, so you can get everything lined up. So let's just sew it onto this one. So I'm going to come up from the back. Now, I'm not going to put a knot in. I'm going to come up from the back. Oh, I've put a big needle on here. Through my button. Back down and back in. And I'm actually only going to stitch through these twice, and I'm going to go back in that blue dot that we've put on there for you as a guide. So once that's all, oh, I didn't go through the felt first, man. What's wrong with us? Bear with. I'm just going to pull that out and redo it. Just pull one side out. There we go.
Now, this project on its own is $19.99, but if you're getting it in the one-day special, it's only $3.99. That is how good a deal you have got in this one-day special with the prices, and you'll get 20 projects in total. We are now 40% of the stock gone of our complete collection here. And also you'll get your free fabric scissors. While stocks last, you're not paying for that either. That's a gift with purchase. So it's an incredible deal. So many projects, amazing.
Okay, so we've gone through the blue dot, through the felt, through the button, back down through the button, back through the felt, which is what I did wrong, and back through the backing fabric. So you're going to do all of that, Oh, I quite like it with the yellow thread, actually.
Yeah.
It pops.
Funky.
And what I would do is I would go through all those layers twice, so you've got a double strand on the front, especially if you're using just a normal cotton. If you're using something thicker like that embroidery floss, you'd get away with it. And because I didn't tie a knot to stop that kind of pulling through at the back, what I would actually do is pull it so that end's a little bit shorter, and then tie these two pieces together, because that's what's going to give you that kind of super tight, really good fix. And if you're it's something you're going to use regularly and you think you're going to wash a lot, then I would definitely recommend just a dab of glue, like a little dab of super glue or something on the back of there as well, just to really, really hold it tight. So after that, tied it up.
I like that sound, it's satisfying.
Well, the last step is to actually sew these together. So we're going to put them face to face. Now just bear in mind you've added a lot of extra weight to this now. So plenty of pins when you come to put this together. I've got some down here. So plenty of pins, and I would definitely always sew from the top and then sew down. Let me get that one lined up as well. I'll get plenty of pins in here. I'll get the machine set up, and then I will just sew top to bottom on here. Now, you've got a couple of options in terms of how you sew this. You could go as close to the edge as possible, or if you want to line it up and keep it like those full squares, you could stitch kind of in the centre of that square, so you make it a half square. So when you open it back out, it's half a square and half a square, making a full square again.
Got you.
So it's entirely up to you how you do that. Give me 2 minutes, I'll whack some pins in here, and then we'll get this sewn, and then we'll hopefully get one more project in.
Excellent. Now, we've got the panels behind me, so you can see we've got one on, this one is for the, which one are we on here? Oh, hang on. Right, this one we're going to look at now. Okay, should I get out of the way? Right. Oh, stand the other side. Okay. Right, so this is from issue 6, this big panel. I love that. You've got I love the pasties. You've got cakes. That's for your lovely little sort of picnic wrap that we've got. There's the panel with the birds on that you can stitch over. You'll be able to make the bag. There's another bag. There's a lovely little zip bag as well as a shoulder bag. There's just so many beautiful, beautiful fabrics that you get here as the panel for all of your projects. So in issue 6, you have got those 12 different projects that you'll be able to make. There's a little nurse you can add to the bag that you can maybe pop your masks in and things like that. So there's a beautiful panel. And then in the other issue, which is your button issue, you'll get a second panel, and this has got the hummingbird on. It's got the segment so you can make your beautiful not advent calendar, just your calendar. Perpetual, that's the word, perpetual calendar. I love the hummingbird that you can sew buttons onto. It's really pretty. Now, the Perpetual Calendar on its own is $29.99, but again, at this one-day special price, it will work out at just $3.99 for that project.
Can I just say, for the self-cover buttons that you get, getting 31 self-cover buttons, and they're quite nice big ones as well, and you get the tool to cover the buttons.
Brilliant.
That is a really good price for that.
It
because those buttons, you can pay £30 for just those buttons on their own.
Wow, okay, nice.
So, yeah, that's a really good price for that kit.
Lovely jubbly. Again, you can spread the cost, 2 payments of $39.99. You'll get all your buttons, you'll get felt, you'll get skeins of thread, you'll get, I mean, there's batoonies you'll get, there's pieces of jewellery you can make, you've got templates, you've got MDF, good grief. And of course, I don't know, so much there. Right, so you can spread the cost, 2 payments of $39.99. We are still extremely busy. We are now over 40% of a 24-hour stock we're supposed to have there. 728446 is your item number. You've got the £5 saving from issue 6, £5 saving from the button Fabazine, and then you get a further £15 saving on the one-day special, so I'll let you do the maths. Right, over to you, Hayley.
Okay, so we are just about to sew this together now. So I've just done a little bit of a double stitch on that top, so I've gone forward and back again just to make sure it's really, really nice and... Whoa, I wasn't ready there. Before. So I've just made sure that my top is lined up really, really well, because obviously that's the bit that you're going to see. You're going to see the top of the bag, so I've just made sure that the top's lined up really well, because if anything goes wrong, we can fix that at the bottom, but you want that top edge to look really, really good. So Now all this is lined up. You can see I've got a lot of pins down the side here, and what I've been doing is just lining up the 2 squares. So if I just open that out, I just tried to pick one that was light and dark kind of thing. So if I just open that out, you can see where those 2 squares join. And it's those lines that I'm trying to line up so that I get a really nice kind of crisp join as I sew all the way down. So there we go. I might not get both sides done because we've only got 10 minutes left.
Never enough time, Hayley.
There is never, well, not when you're crazy enough to make things with 20 projects in. Got to learn my lesson. 2, done. It's going to be a long 5 hours, isn't it, if there's only 2. Okay, so just all the way along to the bottom, and that will complete the sides of your bag, and then your tote bag is done. And then we can move on to another one of the projects. We might do got a little bit, 10 minutes, can we get it done? Yeah, okay, right. I'll just do the one side, and then we'll move on to back to Fabazine 6.
Okay.
And we'll do the placemat. We'll do the placemat. Now, what you need to just watch for with this is obviously one side is a lot heavier than the other because it's got a lot of buttons in. So plenty of pins down that side because you don't want it to slip as you're sewing it. And then off and the bottom. And then if we just flip that right around, at least you can see one of the sides done. See, and it is definitely worth paying a little bit of attention to lining those squares up because you'll get a much better finish on it. And there, well, don't look at this side. There you go.
Excellent stuff. It's such a fun bag.
So that's a really fun one, and I think really usable as well because it's like a good sized tote that you could, put a lot of bits and pieces in.
Absolutely.
Right, I've made a right mess, haven't I? Excellent. So the next one we're going to do is the placemat. Now you've got the placemat in front of you there. It's the kaleidoscope one.
Here it is.
And we did a notebook cover as a kind of, well, actually there is a notebook cover version of this coming as an introduction for anybody who hasn't paper pieced before. Right. So paper piecing, we are going to go through the basics because we've got 10 minutes. We'll just steal a bit of this thread. That won't matter. Apparently we've got 8 minutes now. I'm just going to keep saying we've got 10 and then hope it happens. Just going to imagine we've got 10 and it'll all be fine. Right, first thing with threading needles, good sharp edges on your thread because it's impossible to thread when they've got those big long wispy bits. All right, so in the kit there are a couple of bits of paper in there and they have loads of these little triangles on which you just need to cut out with a pair of scissors and you are ready to go. So for the English paper piecing, we're going to pop that into there. And then we're going to fold all of these edges over. You notice the triangles have got the corners cut off of them. Yeah. And that is so that when you fold them over, if you've got it lined up right, the straight edges should meet along there. So what we're going to do, I need a knot in this, hang on, bear with. There you go, done. So we're going to come through from the back to the front, just to secure that knot. And then we are going to come back through because when I come to my joins on the corners here, where I'm going to fold that fabric over, I want to be going through from the side that is going to hold from the back. So I'm holding those folds in place with the tacking stitch that I'm putting in there. And you only need to put a couple of stitches in per side, and that is just to hold the fabric to the shape of the paper. Now you can get fabric glue sticks, and that's what I've done a couple of these other triangles with, and that will hold it in place for you as well. So it's up to you which method you prefer. It's personal choice. I personally prefer to stitch it on because sometimes I think when you glue it on, you can get it a bit too tight. Oh, have I fluffed it up? No, I haven't, it's fine. It's fine. And then back through, just to take that thread out of the way and keep it so it's not kind of catching on anything. So that's how you kind of cover the triangles. I've got a few more here that are done, and you'll notice all my triangles, oops, or should be exactly the same. Let's get the blue bit down the bottom. There you go, 3 triangles, all the same. So what I'm going to do is we're going to put all of those pieces into the centre, so you can start to create those little kaleidoscope patterns that you can see a lot more clearly on the one that you've got in front of you there. You stitch these together, you stitch them with a whip stitch. So by whip stitch, what I mean is you put them face to face. Now it is worth laying them out in that kind of kaleidoscope pattern and then just pairing them up and putting them together. So we're going to, by whip stitch, what I mean is we're going to come through. I need a little knot on the end of there, but I haven't put one in. So I'm just going to go through it again. And in the same way as we did with the buttons. Oops, let's just get that on, back on the top because we don't want it underneath. There we go. So through twice and then just put a double knot in there just to hold that nice and steady. And then off we go. And by whip stitch, what I mean is you're going to take the tiniest piece of both sides and you're always going to take that thread over the top. So through both sides and over the top. Oops, again, just watch out for those corners when you're just starting off. And you don't need a lot of fabric, you just need a tiny little bit, just enough to hold it together, because the bigger piece of fabric you take, the more visible your stitches will be on the other side. So you're going to continue that all the way along until you've joined those two together. And what I would recommend is, if you actually have started at the wrong end there, because if you start at this bottom end and work your way up, then when you're ready to add that next piece on, you're at the right point to take it back down again.
Makes
so
sense.
I should have checked before I did that. Let's do as I say, not as I do. And then you make half, it's easiest to make the half hexagons, then you can take those and make them into your full hexagons just by stitching two together. You make 6 of these. One for the centre and then 6 for around the edges. So 7, 1 for the centre, 6 for around the edges, and you stitch them together along those pieces the same way as we did that whip stitch, just to attach those two triangles together. And then you'll end up with what you've got over there. You can, in the instructions, it does tell you to add a couple of pairs of triangles into those bits in between, just to make it back into a proper hexagon, because that's easier to back. But you can, obviously, if you have more skills like Heather has, you can, do an unusual shaped one as well.
Yeah, really like that. So this is just one of the 20 projects that you are going to be getting in your one-day special. So you've got your Fabazine issue 6. You've also got your Fabazine limited edition of the buttons, and just the projects are just amazing that you're going to be able to make 20 projects in total. So you're seeing an array of the projects you'll make here. Lovely little scrunch bag. I absolutely adore our dragon. So cute. Little bag here. There's the picnic carrier. We've got our MDF elephant.
In the morning.
Probably. I have to say, I keep getting a waft of them.
The blueberry ones?
Yeah.
Do you want one?
I'm going to be good. I'm going to be good.
Well, I think if we gradually eat them,
that's all right.
then that's fine.
That's fine.
So hang on, we've got 5 hours.
Yeah.
So we could eat 2 this show. There's 8 cakes. So if we eat 2 this show, 2 the next one. We can kind of gradually make it
munch
there,
our way
we?
through. Love that. Now, those are just the projects in the Fabazine issue 6. Over here, you can see more projects that you'll be able to make. So we've got that I love that. You can cover the hummingbird in the buttons. You'll get the fabric panel for that. You've got batoonies in here. You can make necklaces. There's a bag you can make. You've got MDF shapes. There's that wonderful Perpetual Calendar. So many projects, 20 in total. Now, at this one-day special price, you are only paying £3.99 per project. That is incredible. Some of the projects are like £19.99 or over £20 even. So you're getting literally everything that you need. It is such good value. And don't forget, you'll get your free scissors worth £12.99. But so this is one per customer, but once these have gone, these have gone. So it's first come, first serve, as we like to say. £79.98, but you can spread that cost on Flexi-Buy. 2 payments, what was it, of £39.98, I believe, or £39.99. Yep, lovely. Remember, those savings are carrying over. So the £5 saving from Fabazine 6, the £5 saving from the button Fabazine. So So that's £10 carried over, plus a further £15 saving on your one-day special. 728446 is your item number. As ever, you can call us 01733 602000, or you can shop online at thecraftstore.com. It's still taken me a little bit of time, Hayley, to have to really watch myself.
Yesterday, I was saying the other thing all the way.
Yeah. It's easily done.
We're going to come back at 8 o'clock. We're going to start off with how to make that scissor holder, which goes with the free gift scissors.
Oh, that's good. I do like the scissor holder. It's really cool. It's really cool. It's been decorated all grungy as well. I like it.
Yeah, that one is Patty Wilson that's done that one for us.
Excellent.
And she's done a lovely job. But she actually did something that we weren't expecting. So I'll show you both ways you can do it in the next hour.
Lovely. Thanks, Hayley.
No problem.
OK, as ever, don't go anywhere because we've got more coming up after this short break.